Oh God. Oh God. Oh, what a relief. It's just a doll, Helena. Oh, just about scared the life out of me. But it's just shadows and reflections. Oh. We let our imaginations run away from us. See, when I point my flashlight at the shadows, you can see there's nothing weird there. See? Helena, are you listening? What are you staring at?
She sees me, Charles. She's looking right at me.
Who is? There's no one there, Lena. It's just shadows. Tricks of the light. Here, I'll show you.
Charles, stop moving your torch around. No!
What's going on?
There was a girl, Charles, and she saw me. She was wearing purple scarves like a fortune teller. I think these are her tarot cards. And she looked so young, Charles, and so very, very scared. And she saw me. And when you shined your flashlight on her, she disappeared just like that.
What do you think she was scared of?
I don't know. Maybe whatever happened to this place. I think these shadows want our help. They've been leading us along this whole time, giving us clues. The boot, the book, the little girl's cards. It's all tied together to this ritual. And I think it's the key to saving these poor spirits. They need our help.
You're saying these entities have agency? Helena, I don't discredit we've seen some strange things, but at most it's just energy. Parapsychology has concluded, at best, that what we've been seeing is just echoes. Residual traces of electricity still clinging on to the sites of strong emotion. They can't do anything on their own. They are just memories.
They're not just memories. How can you be so dense? That little girl saw me, Charles. Echoes aren't afraid. Figments don't cry. Boots don't move on their own. If you would just stop being Mr. Skeptical Science Man for 5 minutes, you could feel how truly numinous this all is.
This isn't about feeling, Helena. It's about logic and reason and experimentation. It's about discerning fact from fantasy. And the boot could be remote controlled. The point of the podcast is to empirically prove that...
Oh, hang your stupid podcast. Oh, Charles, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. It's not a stupid podcast. It's a lovely, lovely podcast. And I know it's going to be very, very popular someday with a 25 to 37-year-old neo-pagan wine mum demographic.
It's an underserved niche audience.
I know.
You're right, though. Something is happening. More than just electromagnetic blips. Do you really think the ritual is the key to something?
I do.
And you don't really think the podcast is stupid?
I don't.
All right. I'll follow your lead then. I'll put my skepticism on the shelf for now and see where our feelings take us.
Thank you. Remote-controlled boots?
Edit that out, Albert.
The room is dark, except for the beams of light from the two dark figures silhouetted in the doorway. As these beams of light trace over the contours of the room, the things they touch seem to dull and wither and gain an air of banality. And those of you who were awake for it watched as Madame Blavatsky dissolved into 1,000 pieces when she was hit with one of these beams, just into dust, like she was never there at all. The dull ones are coming into the room, but you get the impression that they can't really see anything that their light doesn't touch. So they are hesitant, they are moving slowly, and you may be able to evade or hide. Now that you're all awake again, that your nap cards have worn off, what does everyone want to do?
I'm feeling brave and curious.
Ooh, a dangerous combination.
I think I want to hide.
Not brave or curious. Prudent, but perhaps unwise in the long run? Harkle? Leonard?
I think Leonard's going to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I think Harkle is also going to do his best to hide. He's going to try to find some place interesting. He's going to use his guile, I hope. But he's going to push a abomination, the abomination, Bob the baloney monster, out in the middle, like as a blockade, between me and what I'm running. Yeah.
You were putting Bob in the open there, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Throwing him under the proverbial, not a
bus.
It's not a
Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
The Oscar Mayer Wienermobile. That's exactly what I was
thinking.
Proverbial
Wienermobile, which apparently you can drive if you pass the internship exam.
I looked into that. I know all about it.
Yeah, I bet you. That doesn't surprise me at all. I think I might have applied after college to drive the Wienermobile. All right, so Jay, how are you? What is your plan to hide? Are you just looking for something? What are you doing to find yourself a spot?
Yeah, just I think looking around and seeing if there's anything to hide behind, or if I should just use my wings and kind of hide in the spot.
If you can't see them, they can't see you.
Right.
Classic logic, always works. What's Leonard doing to hide?
I think Leonard's looking around and he notices some strange things on the shelf, like various ingredients and stuff. So he kind of he's a frog, so he thinks of witches and stuff. So he kind of props up against the other ingredients and just kind of tries to stay still.
Gotcha.
He's gonna blend in.
Yeah.
So I want a guile roll from Jimmy, and I want a cool roll from Carri and from Steve, since you're more trying to blend in. And then we'll see what Nighty being brave and curious is going to result in.
I'm looking at a 9 on guile.
Okay, pretty guileful.
10 for Leonard.
Oh, yeah. Jay, what do you say?
I got a 4. Not so cool.
What does being brave and curious look like, Ashley?
I really feel that I'm a woman now, and I have molted even more, and I'm tired. I'm tired of being in the shadows. I'm gonna step right out and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
That's okay. Okay, you are confronting. All right.
Yeah, I'm flapping my wings, and I am confronting, and I am done.
Now that you're approaching middle age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
My life cycle is 3 days.
Exactly. And this is day 2.5, and I'm not sitting around looking for a lamp.
Tune in next week when Nighty has a midlife crisis.
Yeah. I'm going to buy a good car.
Why is she riding a motorcycle? She's much too old for that.
It's true.
That's irresponsible at her age.
She said it gets good gas mileage.
It does. No, 2 weeks from now I'll be practical.
There you go. Leonard and Harkle, you are good hiders. And these,
thanks to Bob.
Yep. And the slap of meat on the floor distracts them, giving you time to kind of skitter behind something.
Let's be real, Jason. That's meat product.
I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. The congealed stuff between.
Thank you.
The cocktail leaders.
Our producers told us we're no longer allowed to call it meat. Some of the powers that be.
Truth in it. Yeah, we got a letter from Big Meat.
From Big Meat.
Cease and desist order.
Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Right.
There's no beef here.
No, but not here. Not here.
In this production. No.
If you were going to eat beef, it would be good for you and not connected to any sort of tomfoolery.
Bob is meat product.
He is somewhat of a meaty state. But he does make a satisfying slop, which flicks the flashlights towards him. Jay, you rolled a 4. As the flop of meat goes, you're in the process of looking for something to hide behind, and you are out in the open just as the flashlights play across Bob, and you get hit.
No!
And for a second, it just feels kind of warm and tingly, and then you all see Jay dissolve and disappear into dust.
Wait, what?
Like she never existed.
What the?
Nighty Night, meanwhile, you've come out with your hands on your hips.
But I just saw I just saw that happen, though.
Somewhere you've gotten a glass of rosé, and you're standing out in the middle of the floor, and you make the inaudible, what?
What?
And the flashlight plays across you as they... And for a second, you can see them see you, and you're gone.
But that's not what I wanted.
Harkle and Leonard, Jay and Nighty Night have just...
And the lights, they're not focused towards us at all. Right
no,
now,
they're
right?
away. They're pointing the other direction, but they're frantically scrolling back and forth to the other room. Like they've gone from searching the room just to see what's there to thinking that they've seen something, and they're flashing them all around for movement. But their backs are to you.
I give a tug to Bob to follow along, and I say to Leonard, "There's no need to tarry. Let's move on."
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Or next.
And you make a run for it?
Yes.
Yep.
You're out the door with your floppy little wings and your little frog butts and however else you need to get out the door. And you're halfway down you're down the hallway about 4 or 5 rooms away from Madame Blavatsky's room before, Harkle, you realize Bob's not moving along with you. You're just sort of dragging
Bob,
a splort of not meat behind you.
Bob! No, Bob!
It's just lunch meat now.
Harkle falls to his knees.
He paid the ultimate price.
Tears streaming down his one eye. Out his one eye onto his beaked mouth, his many-tongued mouth, and just bawling and... Not Bob.
Harkle, I'm going to need you to take 4 grumps at the demise of Bob.
I now have a healthy amount of grumps.
Well, that's what you get for sacrificing your abomination.
It was worth it.
Yeah, you're
I'll
not
make
dead.
another.
I mean,
I got
mysteriously
this
disappeared. Nobody's dead.
I look back at my 2 tails and...
Well, you and Leonard have escaped from the room, but you can see the play of the flashlights start to make their way out of the room. The dull ones seem to be moving on to another space. You don't think that they heard you, but something seems to be leading them in the same direction that you were going. Give me nosy rolls.
6.
6 also.
You're not sure how, but they seem to be orienting in your direction.
Can I go ahead and use my perk and get +2 on my big eyes to make that an 8?
Sure.
I do believe I could probably do better.
Mm-hmm. With an 8, you hear ever so slightly coming from one of the dull ones has something in its hands that goes beep, 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 beep. And as they kind of move in your direction, you can hear the beeping go beep, 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 beep. And they seem to be following whenever the beeping gets louder, that's where they point themselves.
They have advanced technology. We must move swiftly.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
You know where you're going? You remember where you're supposed to be going?
I'm going to guess that Harkle does, but I might not.
It was the Metaphysics lab?
That's right.
Ooh!
That's where the other boot is. Yes.
Das Boot, das
Das Boot.
Chocolate Boot.
But I will need crafty rolls to see if you guys know
Gotcha.
how to get.
We're in Harkle's wheelhouse.
5.
Well, you know where you're supposed to go, just not how to get there.
I rolled a 1, so I have 6.
You two are just running, dragging this pound of meat behind you.
I think Harkle is just a little distracted from...
Yeah, he's not really paying attention.
Best friend, you know.
His best, perhaps only friend?
Well, yeah, and Leonard's kind of taking the lead, but he doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I love... It's a tough one for you guys, because your friends all disappeared out of nowhere. You watch 2 of them just... Bloop, And then Bob is all sported, and you don't know where you are, and you're lost, and it seems like apparently the end of the world is coming, or what, and there's two implacable forms following behind you that seem to know exactly where you are at all times. It's a little bit of a stressful situation.
I'll tell you, Jason, it's a doozy.
It is a doozy. Capital D, capital Uzi.
Double O.
So I'm going to need you guys to make me some nope rolls, because this is getting a little
It's out of hand.
than you can handle. Things seem to be going wrong.
My nopes are at 9, and I rolled a 10. Does that mean I lose one?
You do lose one. Yes.
And I freak out a little bit?
A little bit. Your nopes max goes down one. How about...
My nopes is at 7 and I rolled an 8.
Same.
So you lose one too.
Okay.
So you two take a minute to...
Not only are we lost,
Now you're freaking out just a little bit. Yeah.
We're freaking out, man. So Harkle's like licking the window and stuff. He's got 9 to 12 of his tongues on the window at this point, just like.
Do you have the window licking perk, or are you just knack, or are you just licking windows because that's what you do when you're nervous?
He's self-soothing.
I gotcha.
Likes the feel on his tongues. It's cool to the touch.
I understand.
And then he likes what he leaves behind.
Just 9 smears of slime all over the...
So he's like, oh.
Sure, that would make anybody feel better. I know I lick all sorts of things when I'm feeling down.
Yeah. And you only have one tongue.
I've only got the one. What's Leonard's freak out look like?
Throwing his arms over his head and waving them back and forth, going, ah.
That's what I was... Ah!
But maybe once he settles down, maybe he looks around to see if there's anything around that he can read. I have an ability that I can ask a clue from the sitter.
Oh,
Blue's horrifying clues.
You want to use Blue's horrifying clues? Okay.
Now's the time, my friend.
2 cookies, 2 grumps. Is there any sign around that will lead us to where we need to go?
A mysterious voice echoes from the hallways. When all is lost, what is left? Hello? That's
nothing.
Was it horrifying?
Nothing.
When all is lost, what is left?
Nothing. Nothing is left. Nothing.
The voice repeats again. When all is lost, what is left? When all is lost,
Right.
what is left?
Yeah, right. Nothing.
Maybe we can straight?
Right.
No.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You are standing on the T intersection.
It's a T, so
you can go right or left.
I think we should.
When all is lost, what is left?
Left. What is left?
Left.
We're lost.
Let's go left.
Yeah, we're lost.
Yeah, let's go left.
You feel a sense of rightness as you go left. Harkle, you wipe off your mouth. The two of you are running. You turn to the left, and sure enough, after a moment, you see a sign that says Metaphysics Lab this way, and it points you further down the hallway. You seem to have lost the dull ones for now, and you arrive without further incident to the Metaphysics Lab, which is, well, it's basically a high school lab. You can see through the glass wired window in the door, probably some sort of explosive proof glass, that there are tables full of, set up with Bunsen burners and beakers, and skeletons of various, probably former students that are now useful for anatomy studying, and a strange man in a purple robe and a funny hat is poking around, muttering to himself. You can kind of see him anxiously pulling open drawers right and left. Jay, Nighty Night. It's black. Pitch black. And you can't see or feel or hear anything but the blackness. You can't feel yourselves. You can't see your hands or tentacles or wings in front of your face. It's like floating in an empty void with only your mind aware that it even exists anymore.
Were you listening to Pink Floyd when you wrote this? 'Cause I'm feeling very Pink Floyd vibes.
Are you
right
feeling?
now.
Yeah, man. I need you two to make me Nopes rolls, first of all, to see if you can handle floating in the void without completely losing what's left of your minds.
So I've got 4, and my nopes are 8.
Ooh!
I've got.
Jay,
I am not doing well in the void. Unsurprisingly, I got a 7.
And what's your Nopes max at?
5.
5, okay. So, Ash, you're down to 2.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Jay, I think you went nutso?
I did.
You did. Normally, when you have your body about you and your Nopes go bloop, you have a little tantrum freak out. But you have no body. You have no mouth and you must scream.
No, nope.
But you can't because you don't have a mouth.
This is why I could never do one of those sensory deprivation, like, fancy things. No, that is hell.
Right.
Oh,
Who does that?
It's incredible.
Mm.
Because they actually take your brain out of your head and it's
No.
just floating in the saline solution. Yeah.
No,
If I
how
could
to do
be
it.
a brain in a jar, I'll tell you.
Man, if I
what.
could be a brain in a jar.
that's what I have nightmares about.
I'm into
Anyway,
it.
Jay, you're going to take permanent 1 damage to your grumps, tummy aches, and ouch max.
Oh, so every time they roll, it's 1 less? Like, is that for the max?
Yep.
Oh, that's ugly. I want to make it.
But a light flickers. And a form. You can see it coming like at first it starts like a little glowing ball of light. And then it gets closer and closer.
What is that in the distance?
It's Madame Bratvatsky. And she's carrying a candle. And she seems to be sipping a cup of tea.
why is she not freaking out? Like me.
She's probably been in the void before.
Hello? Hello?
With the light now, you can see her, and she's looking at the two of you. Oh, you haven't regained your bodies yet, have you?
Because I'm a moth, I feel the intense urge to go towards that light as fast as I can. Mm-hmm. Also because I'm freaking out.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm flapping away. There's dust everywhere.
It's just she's sneezing and coughing and waving at her.
Yes.
It's like, look, stop flapping. You're here. You're fine. We will. You too, birdie, stop squawking and come. Your bodies are still there. You just are not connected to them. Just settle down and think about what your body looks like. Think about your wings and think about your beaks and your talons and your weird glowing red eyes that give people radiation poisoning. Just think about all of the things that make you you. You have to rebuild yourself here in the void. So, how well do you guys know each other? What do you think about when she tells you to think about yourselves?
Think about remembering what it feels like to flap my wings.
I think my first thought is about the intense feelings I felt when I was kissing the slime.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't know what it means.
We'll unpack that later. As you both kind of grasp onto these powerful memories of moments in your short lives, you start to feel tangibleness again. You start to smell the tea wafting off of Madame Bratvatsky's mug. You feel the warmth from the candle. You can flap your wings and you can taste the slime on your tongue, I guess.
I think I'm in love with the slime. What does this mean?
I mean, the slime
feelings.
The slime seemed nice.
I need to be with the slime.
Maybe he'll go to prom with me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's...
Or at this point in my life, maybe like antique shopping.
Oh, that'd be nice. Maybe
a nice garage sale.
Oh my gosh. That's all I want.
Coupon clipping. It's always coupon clipping.
Oh, you know what sounds really nice? Oh, like just to drive up to Napa Valley for the day and just maybe a little bit of a tour.
Oh,
Maybe take a couple bottles home with us, Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Maybe knit in the evenings.
Oh, this is delightful. I hope all the children listening are enjoying all these anecdotes of things we can't wait to
myself.
Y'all seem old.
We are old. Very, very old.
I actually,
every time I turn around,
I actually do like that stuff.
Yeah. Well, you've been 23 going on 60 as long as I've known you.
Oh, you bet.
So you start to come back to yourselves, and as you come back to yourselves, the light seems to get brighter and brighter, and you realize that you are not in a void. You're in a round glass room.
Is it padded?
That's a really important question.
Is the room padded?
Yes.
Probably should be with you two freaking out like that. It's glass, a smoky glass all around, like you're in a dome, but the floor is like a crushed velvet. And there's a little tiny chaise lounge and a little end table that Madame Blavatsky has a pot of tea and a couple of cups, and she's like, sit. I hadn't planned for company, but you are here, so sit.
Did you find us, or did we appear here?
Well, you got caught in my my anti-boredom device. Sit, I will explain.
Please.
You sit down, she pours you a cup of tea, and the teacups you notice are like something you would find in a dollhouse. Like they're very, very tiny. Everything feels very delicate, feels very tiny. The furniture feels tiny. It all has that look of being manufactured, of being, toys, basically. I had a vision of my dissolution by the dull ones, and I had planned for contingencies. I knew they may come and make everything boring, so I saved a little bit of weirdness in the room in case they overcame it. And so, when it was triggered by the boringness of the dull ones, I went to my safe space, and you two just happened to come with me. Good timing there. You weren't ripped apart by the shredded banality of the dull ones, or turned into a common moth and, I guess, a slightly tinier bird. I don't know what happens to thunderbirds when they get boring.
So is this like in your head?
Is this in my head? No, this is my... No, this is in... We are still in my museum. In my head. What is ridiculous? No.
I don't know. I'm a toddler.
Look out the window. Tell me what you see. Look at the glass. As you look out, you see her. You see the room you were just in. You see the museum.
What?
But everything looks huge. It's like the size of the museum has grown 500%. Everything is massive now.
Wait.
She shrunk us.
Is your safe place just tiny?
Well, it's tiny and in the crystal ball, yes.
Wait, so we're stuck. We're stuck, aren't we?
No, you can leave eventually.
Eventually?
Mm-hmm. I think. I honestly hadn't thought this far ahead. I'm only 7.
How do you usually leave?
I never had to come in here before.
Oh, so we don't know how to leave.
You think that strange beings from beyond the shadows often come in and turn everybody boring? This is not a normal circle. I don't know. I don't know how to get out either. I don't want to be tiny.
Calm down.
We are stuck in the ball. We are stuck in the ball.
It's okay.
I feel that as the elder by a couple hours, and a lot has happened to me. I think we all just need to relax, and maybe that is how we get out of the ball. If we just relax.
This isn't even real tea. I've just been pretending all the time. I don't want to be
Hey, throw some dust on her. See if that helps.
All right, I flap my wings like crazy, and now the ball is full of dust.
Helping.
I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do.
No, I have allergies and I'm stuck in the ball.
Would you like to lay down on the couch?
She just flops over on the couch, puts her hand on her forehead. Oh, the vapors, it is too much. Oh, we will never get out of the ball. We are stuck here forever. She has noped herself into no help for now.
Oh, no.
Finally, it's quiet.
Okay, now we can think of how to get out of here.
Leonard and Harkle.
Yes.
You're looking at a strange man in a purple robe, flinging things all over the place. In the metaphysics lab, he seems to be looking for something, and he is unable to find it.
Harkle will imitate him and just start rummaging through things. And, he pulls his funky-smelling, dingy lab coat, tries to straighten himself up, make himself look like he belongs here, and just start doing the same thing.
So you
look at a book and just nope, throw it over my shoulder, thumb through another book and fling it aside.
The guy looks at you. He notices all the noise and oh, hello. No luck finding it either, huh?
Nope. What are we looking for?
Have you not been paying attention? We're looking for the other boot.
You think it's in these books over here?
I don't know where it is. I'm not even supposed to be in this universe. Where are your other friends? I was
disappeared.
We got Frog Boy, yes.
Harkle cries. He just breaks down in tears.
Yeah, we lost a lot of friends.
Oh,
they disappeared.
There's supposed to be 4 of you. I read ahead in the game notes.
There were 5.
Oh, 5. Yeah. Oh, the slime thingy, meat man. Oh, yes, he secondary character at best. No, this puts things. There's only
you're a secondary character.
Well, I'm yes, very much so. I might even be tertiary. I'm not
tertiary.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm the great metamagic thorthorer of some renown. Blebbity blobbity blue. You may have heard of me. We need to find the boot, kids. 2 of you. 2 of you may not be enough to do it.
We could try.
All right. Tell you what. You 2 make some random rolls that will hopefully show that you're searching or thinking or something. I'm not quite sure how the rules of this particular version go. And I will...
They're pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same? All right. I wasn't sure of this being a... Is this a spin-off or is this like a second...
Never mind. How's your crafty?
Okay, yeah, you think crafty will work. Perhaps a brainy.
Depends what you're trying to do.
Okay, all right. If you're looking for something, what do you use? Nosy in that situation?
Nosy is good.
Yeah, I think nosy.
Why don't you make me some nosy rolls, and hopefully those will be sufficient to find the boot. Meanwhile, I'm going to, and he pulls out like a little smartphone. He starts.
Dang it! I already used my perk.
Oh, good. How many times have you used it today?
I have used it
once.
Have you had a break since you've used it?
Nope.
Hold on a second. Yes, core rulebook, only 1 perk per break. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, that's okay. I rolled really good.
Good. Why don't you tell the sitter your roll and I continue to do this? What'd you get, Harkle?
I got a 9 total.
A 9's not bad. Leonard, how'd you do?
Yeah, I rolled a 9 too.
Ooh, 2 9s. That is going to be sufficient to know that boots usually aren't kept in small drawers or piles of papers. So you immediately stop looking at those areas. And can you continue?
Is there any furniture in here or any
Oh, furniture. There is some furniture. There are some, like you said, there's all of those tables with Bunsen burners and whatnot on top of them. There's all the skeletons of former students. And there are a couple of locked cabinets that probably where they keep the formaldehyde and the wolf's bane and the...
Maybe a boot.
Maybe a boot. I don't know, you could try to get in there. Metamagic is continuing to go through the game notes to see if he can look ahead a little bit.
Metamagic thief the thither is gonna put it in the closet.
It says here that the sitter is going to go back to Jay and Nighty. Oh, it looks like they are still alive. Great.
Hey there, Boddlers. It's Jason from Even Footing Games. They asked me to do a spooky ad about Anchor FM, and the spookiest thing I can think of is not knowing what Anchor FM is! If you haven't heard of Anchor by Spotify by now, it is the easiest way to make a podcast, and it's got everything you need all in one place. Anchor's got tools that allow you to record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or computer. And when you host on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of your favorite podcasting apps. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, and best of all, it is free. So go to anchor.fm or download the Anchor app today to get started. Boo!
Welcome back to Beyond the Shadows. A big thanks to our newest patrons, Your Baby Ate My Dingo, and Jorgen Dick. Oh, that's not appropriate at all. Jorgen, Thingy Hammer.
Thanks, patrons. Your generosity and dedication to the truth is truly monumental in helping us find the truth.
As the night continues, we find ourselves moving forward with a new sense of purpose. The restless spirits that haunt this place have led us to a ritual that will grant us, the Seekers, wisdom of foresight. With our newfound wisdom, we hope to free these tragic beings from their eternal torment here among the ruins of St. Gwalgoths.
Are you ready, dear listeners, to take the next step? Even if it leads us to places that science cannot explain, to tread a road that leads to knowledge, or to madness.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Nice.
Jay and Nighty Night, you are trapped in the ball.
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
Okay. What if we throw ourselves as hard as we can at the ball and try and push ourselves onto the floor? And maybe if it breaks, we will get out. That's all I got.
I like the violent approach.
I am pretty beefy, but I don't know if we can break it.
I don't see the downside in you guys trying to break your way out of a giant glass ball. I don't see how that could possibly go wrong.
Okay.
Don't listen to me, though. I enjoy seeing things go wrong, so...
It's not sketch at all.
Yeah, that sounds pretty... I think that's a good idea.
I think I only have like a slightly better chance than Nighty Night does. I'm not sure Moth is super beefy, but I'm not super powerful.
Oh, my beefy's not bad. Because I had +1 beefied for some reason.
Some reason.
I don't remember.
she beefed for +1. Madame Brodkowski is starting to come out of her tantrum. What are we doing? Have we figured out why are we still in the ball?
Oh my gosh. Actually, she would be a great asset because she's freaking out and her energy would help us. Okay. The crazier she is, the better.
All right. Well, she's starting to come down a little bit. Do you want to
do it now.
Rile her back up, or
you want to stoke that fire?
I want to stoke the fire.
How are you going to do that, Nighty Night?
I am going to remind her how terrifying this situation is, and I'm going to panic too to induce more panic.
Give me a guile roll.
Ooh, 7.
It's alright, it beats her guile roll. She starts.
Oh my god, this is horrible! This
And then
is
you're-
really terrible! This is horrible!
Actually, take a point of grumps damage because you've worked yourself up into a tizzy as well.
I have a headache. Oh yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So you're both freaking out. That's how.
Oh my
little girls
god!
freak out
I'm
right
gonna
now.
take my pot off of my head
Mhm.
and my stick
Mhm.
and start pounding on the edge of the glass.
Yes, the pot. Pound the pot.
Jay is banging on the wall, and Nighty kind of pushes Madame Blavatsky towards the glass, and there I'm banging on the wall. All three of you. I need all three. Give me muscly rolls, and tell you what. For every point of ouchies you are willing to take, I will let you add 1 to that roll.
Can I eat a cookie and add 1 to
Yes, you can also do that too. Yes.
Okay.
I don't think anything's gonna help me because I rolled a 1 and I've got it's a 6.
Jay
So I've
do.
got a 5 plus a 4 is 9.
Okay. All right, and Madame Blavatsky got an 8.
10, because I
Oh, you got
added
a
a plus
10.
1. I added a
Nice.
cookie. Yeah.
You're gonna save us
Madame
all.
Blavatsky got an 8. So between Nighty is just she's basically a giant bug. There's not a lot of oomph there, but Jay is a magical thunder bird, and Madame Blavatsky is a sturdy Eastern European girl of indeterminate origin. And between the two of you, the crystal ball starts to rock, and it rolls slowly, and then picks up speed over the edge of the crystal ball, and thump! It hits the table, and you all jostle, and then continues to roll along the edge of the table.
Oh, hold on.
And you're all going with it closer and closer to the edge of the table. If you go all the way over the edge, I mean, that's a big fall. What are you going to do? You want to ride it out, or what are we doing? The ball is rolling closer. Woo, woo, woo. And the three of you are just getting thrown
We're in
back
it.
and forth.
Yeah,
We're in it to ride it out.
I wanna do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Roller coaster.
The ball goes over the edge. And for a moment, you're all floating like those fancy planes that they dive real quick and everyone feels like they're weightless. And then you all smack against the top of the ball as gravity catches up with you. And it flings down towards the ground. The ground gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to brace for impact. Here it comes. Just a few more seconds and smash! The ball shatters into 1,000 pieces. Glint of broken magic glass shattering, flying everywhere. Three of you all land in a pile together. Shards like sand, like 1,000,000 stars of glass, just raining down from the heavens all around you. For some strange reason, none of you has been hurt by the fall. You were just too light to take the damage. But now all of this fallen glass is coming down from the sky.
I'm going to spread my wings out over everybody and try to protect them as much as possible.
Jay puts her mighty wings out, and she stretches them as far as she can, and kind of pulls an I am Groot as she saves everybody from the falling glass. And as you put your wings over everyone, Jay, Nighty Night, you and Madame Blavatsky huddle under them, you feel yourselves expanding and growing larger, and everything else seems to shrink back down to regular size. And after a moment, you're back to your normal sizes, still not very big, but much bigger than you were before. And you stand amidst shards of broken glass in an empty room.
Nighty Night! It worked!
I feel so much better. That was amazing. You did it.
We are not in the ball anymore. Madame Blavatsky begins to go through all of her stuff, and you can see just she's kind of making an inventory of all of her knickknacks and her curios. You can hear just heavy sighs every time she picks something up and realizes that the magic is gone. The world's shortest, largest giant's pants are now just a pair of shorts for somebody a little taller than average. The magic tooth comb is just a toothbrush. She's just kind of, I must pick up the pieces and rebuild. There will still be plenty of children to fleece out of their cookies, But you two, you must go. Stop the dull ones. Do not let them turn my magic tarot seeing deck into Pokemon cards. Ugh, I don't even need a Charizard. Who needs a Charizard? She goes back to her mad rumblings and her future seeing. Back in the lab, Harkle and Leonard. The last place you haven't looked is a large cabinet under heavy padlock. Meta has stopped scrolling through the game notes and has put his strange device back in his pocket. And he's just got his arms crossed. And he's kind of tapping his foot looking at the two of you. Yes, two of you. Locked cabinet. Missing boot. Yes, I'm sure. You can put it together.
Give it a shot.
Time is of the essence.
Can you give me a hand, Leonard?
Yeah, sure. What do you have in mind?
I'll point to the padlock.
I'm gonna disable that.
Okay. Yes, how are you going to do that, Harkle?
I'm gonna climb up there. How high is it? Is it within my reach or
the top of it?
The lock.
Oh, the padlock. The cabinet's about 7 feet tall, so about midway through. Yeah, it's probably about 3.5, 4 feet tall. You could probably reach it.
I could probably.
It's a little bit of a stretch for you, but yeah.
I'm a pretty big kid.
Mm-hmm.
Big for my age, anyway.
Big for your age. Yeah.
How does it take a key or something, or does it take?
Yeah, it's like an old master lock. It takes a key. Yeah.
I want to get into my little science kit and pull out all the stuff that I've got, all the nastiness, all the acids, and I'm using air quotes here, acids and chemicals and bubble gum and things.
The little bottles of food coloring and water that you've just been collecting over the past couple.
Yep, all those things.
Yep.
And I'm gonna pour them in, and I'm going to mad scientist it up.
They say there's a solvent that you can make.
And I'll just keep pouring things in, and lightning crackles in the background as my schemes begin to hatch. What do you think? That's a brainy roll, maybe?
It's a brainy roll. I'm gonna give you +1 for your mad science.
All right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you hear meta magic in the background. Like, this is a rule of cool game. All right,
100%, and I just crit success, so it's gonna be a 12 total +1.
The mixture that Harkle has created is green, and it glows ever so slightly, and it bubbles and pops and smells like sulfur and butane, and you can feel it, Harkle, starting to eat away the glass that you've mixed it in.
Ooh, this is a strong one. Start pouring.
Good job.
Yeah.
Don't get it on you.
Make me a nimble roll, Harkle.
Glad I got that random +1 to nimble. A 7 total.
Right, you avoid splashing any on yourself, which is probably good. Not only does it eat away the lock, it eats away the door, and it eats away the parts of the floor that it touches, and you can see anywhere that this stuff splashes, like you can see just a hole that just seems to keep going down, 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 down.
Oops.
Luckily, there's not much of it left. You have completely dissolved not only the door and the lock, but the first 3 shelves inside the cabinet.
Wipe them out.
Yeah, I was going to make a move to grab it.
Get that boot.
Yeah, well, that was very nice of you, Sitten, not to have you destroy the boot. That was very kind of him.
Thanks, Meta.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to fix my universe just as much as yours. Young ladies, from the other room, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead a bit to where you get here as well. I hate repeating myself, and this is an important bit of exposition before the last episode. So, you two gentlemen, Frog Boy and Tongue Kid, your friends aren't dead. Hooray!
Frog boy.
Would
Bob's not dead.
No. Bob is definitely dead. No, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about that. He didn't get caught up in the Deus Ex Machina that the other two did. So congratulations, you're all 4 back. Good, we can continue. All right, I don't want to have to repeat myself. Check my notes. I'm meta magic, I'm sorcerer. Yes, I've popped up in different games before. If you go back to listen to other seasons of Even Footing Games Presents, you'll recognize me. Great. All right. Okay.
Meta? I've heard of you.
Yes, I'm very popular. My brief appearance in episode 19 of season 1 was much lauded. Anyway, let's continue here. All right, we are in St. Gwolgoths. Is this the right? Yes. And we have an eldritch creature attempting to tear down the barriers of reality. Okay, that explains why I'm here. It looks like the barriers of reality would also break down my barrier of reality, and what good is a character that can break the fourth wall when there is no fourth wall to break? So my existence is also at stake. Wonderful. So, what do you kids know about the ritual? The bootening is what the sitter named it, which is, I'm sure, not his proudest moment.
It's the most delicious boot.
Yes, it's covered in chocolate. Again, delightful, whimsical. Do you understand why your boots cannot be combined?
No.
Okay, all right. Let me go back. This was Librarian episode. That's all right. You're young, I understand. Okay, so Stubby Wubby. Do we remember Stubby Wubby?
Yes.
Big foot with lots of little feet on the ends of his toes that turn into other little.
Their toes.
Yes. Now we've got it. Good. Yes. Now we're back on track. Good. Remember, we don't want him getting his boots together, because then he'll use them to trod through the gates of reality and rip a veil. And those two beings, the dull ones, the whole world will be like that.
Meta.
Yes.
His name is Stubby Wubby.
His name is Stubby Wubby, yes. I'm sure that was also something that seemed like a good idea at the time. In retrospect, it's not as...
He's all toes. Stubby one.
Right now, you kids are relatively safe. You are in a whimsical, family-oriented fantasy game. Nothing is going to happen to you.
I feel like there's a but.
There is always a but. Well, this time there's a but. Normally there's not a but. Normally you're fine. But if Stubby Wubby breaks through, who knows what sort of weird, fascisty, space marine, grimdark nonsense game is going to start pouring into your world.
Oh, that sounds fun.
And then, well, sure, but you being adorable children won't necessarily have the protection of a whimsical child's game. Do you understand? Don't worry about it. It's not important. This is really more for the audience as a bit of post-modernism that the sitter is obviously using as a means to show how clever he thinks he is. Yes, it's all very nonsensical. The point is,
sitters always think they're smart.
Oh, and this one in particular is downright
quite a rube,
irredeemable in his egotism. I'm capital C clever. He literally pats himself on the back while he's riding. It's ridiculous. If the two dull ones get those boots together, the bootening occurs, and everything is kaputski for you. But there is a counter ritual, because there's always a counter ritual, called the unlacening.
Oh. Not the unbuttoning?
No, the unlacening.
Sounds complicated.
Guess what you
are
do?
they double knotted? I'm not good at double knots.
Well, I can only provide unnecessary exposition and colorful commentary. My hands are tied.
I like Velcro shoes.
Velcro would be great. Let me check. No, they're tied. Sorry. You can't commence the unlacing, though, until both of the boots are in proximity. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to let the dull ones get close.
Wait. You
Yes.
just said not to put them together.
Right.
Yes, I did, but as with anything, this needs to be unnecessarily difficult and add an air of urgency to it. So
I licked the window earlier.
you did lick the window.
I left a
I
mess.
saw that. And let's go ahead and say, for the sake of a callback, that your friends were able to find out where you were by following the slime trails of your tongue. How about that? That's fun. That's a fun little bit of something.
Yes.
Yes, that's a fun little bit. Okay, great. I'm writing that in the notes. We're throwing it in. You'll be doing the unlacing, yes? To save your universe and protect the Veil?
Yup.
They'll be doing the bootening to tear down the Veil. And I will be in the middle, watching and hoping that things go my way. And that all sounds like quite the clash of perhaps multiple storylines that are all coming to a head in one final episode that will most likely take place in 2 weeks. And that's where we're going to end it tonight, kids. We're going to come back for the season finale. Will our toddlers be able to stop the bootening? Or will I just paint myself into yet another corner?
Charles,
Yes, Helena?
what's a metaphysics lab?
I'm not sure, but the moment we stepped in front of the doorway, the boot stopped moving.
Oh, that's a good sign then. This must be where we're supposed to complete the bootening.
Nervous?
A bit, yes. You?
Nah, I do this sort of thing every day.
Oh, really? The only thing I see you do every day is break wind and try to blame it on the dog.
He always looks so confused.
Seriously, though, this feels more real than, well, almost anything I've ever done. It feels heavy.
Yes, I feel it too. Like the air is charged with static electricity, but like if that static electricity were really anxious about something.
Yes, that's it. It's like heavy, anxious static electricity.
Well, we have a chocolate-covered boot, a mysterious spellbook, $276 worth of mid-level audio equipment. Shall we?
The neo-pagan wine mums will love it. Thanks for listening to another episode of Even Footing Games Presents. You can find us at Even Footing Games on Instagram and TikTok, and Even Footing G on Twitter. Starring Ashley Arbaiza as Nighty the Mothgirl, Jason Cassidy as the Sitter, Steve Easton as Leonard the Frogman, Carri Hunter as Jay the Thunderhawk, Jimmy St. James as Harkle the Snallygaster, Hannah Davies as Helena Skyfall Ravenbush, and Chaz Swan as Charles Benningford III. If you want to play your own game of Babies and Broadswords, you can find the book with all the rules and Crawl of Cthulhu on Amazon and DriveThruRPG, or from your local bookseller. A huge thank you to all of our patrons: Rick, Tommy, Alex, Gina, Marilise, Robin, Jim, Debbie, Kathy, and Ryan. Each one of them is exceedingly talented and attractive.